Hi, I'm Thor, and this is the story of Get Satisfaction and how we're helping almost 50,000 companies create customer communities. If you've seen this feedback tab, you've seen our product. We're helping some of the largest brands in the world connect with their customers, as well as some of the fastest growing startups. What we do is put community at the heart of the business. Anywhere that customers have questions, ideas, problems, or praise, there we are. We're in the website, the product, the mobile device. We're close to consumers inside Facebook, and we're deep inside the business with Salesforce. And this matters. For TechSmith, we help them build the right product. For Mint.com, we help them reduce their support tickets by 75%. And for all of our customers, we help them significantly improve their customer satisfaction. And now for a story. What follows is a dramatization inspired by real events. It's 8:42 on Thursday night. Joe Fabiano is on a Costco run when he realizes he can't find his favorite detergent, which happens to be the ultra-pure lilac-scented Tide. So he gets online and he finds himself on the Tide website, where he's invited to ask a question. As he posts his question, he surprises even himself by how much he cares about this lilac Tide, but it turns out he's not alone. Lots of people are concerned about the missing Tide, and they're writing in too. Before long, the community manager has written in, offering her condolences, and says, yes, indeed, the product has been discontinued. P&G has a consumer affairs group as well, and they use Salesforce.com to handle customer inquiries. And in this case, Joe's original question is automatically escalated into a Salesforce case when the discontinued product name triggers a rule. The agent reaches out to Joe and helps him find a replacement product, so Joe is now happy. But the next day at an offsite, the product team notices that there's a disturbing pattern in the data. Lots of people are confused by the way that Tide is discontinuing products. There has to be a better way. So they put their heads together and come up with an ingenious idea. They can stockpile the discontinued products and sell them on their own online store. This way they can wean customers off the old products and introduce them to new ones. Community has just transformed a run-of-the-mill customer issue into an innovation lab. A few days later, it's Super Bowl Sunday, Saints versus Colts, Miami. The crowds are out in force. Tide has a spectacular marketing pavilion set up. They are raising money for Haiti disaster relief, and they're giving away free boxes of Tide. It's a marketing coup, except for one thing. The trash cans in South Beach are overflowing, and people start noticing Tide sample boxes in the streets, in the gutters, on the beaches. By 6:31, people are chattering about this on Facebook. One woman, Courtney George, wants to make sure this never happens again in South Beach. So she finds the Facebook fan page for Tide and writes an impassioned complaint about the Tide Pavilion. Now, the Facebook fan page for Tide is powered by Get Satisfaction, so her post appears not just inside Facebook, but on the web community as well. Within hours of her post, there are dozens of replies, but not the kind that Courtney expects. Most users jump to Tide's defense, pointing out that it was a charitable cause. Tide has been incredibly generous. But the best response is from the Tide fan who points out that there is a way to avoid this problem in the future. Tide can hand out redemption coupons for people to pick up their own free boxes of Tide at a time and place of their own choosing. Out of bad luck comes genius at the hands of the community. That idea, as it turns out, was submitted by Julie Stanford of Erie, Pennsylvania. 12 hours later, she finds herself in her teenage son's bedroom, literally peeling dirty laundry off the floor. And she discovers a particularly nasty ink stain on his shirt pocket. But of course, there's an app for that. Tide's Stain Brain, a knowledge base of stain solutions from the company and, of course, the community. It could have been lipstick or blood or baby poop, but it was ink, and she finds the perfect solution from Donna Ray Esau. Hairspray, followed by a liquid Tide. She gives the solution a big thumbs up and forwards it to her friends. You see, with Get Satisfaction, the community is the knowledge base. Back in Cincinnati, the Tide team is watching the results of the surge in activity. The results are exciting. The average response time is down significantly, but consumers are helping each other more. That means that people are getting better answers, faster, with less work from the company. That's an ROI. At 12:32, the most chilling incident yet, Sarah posts a question in the community. Is it true that Tide is sending out detergent packs in the mail with anthrax in them? A few minutes later, after getting a real-time alert about the post, a Tide employee responds with a clear denial. But the real magic happens 3.5 minutes after that. Joe Fabiano, Lilac Joe to us, posts a detailed explanation about why the anthrax scare has to be bogus, complete with footnotes and links to authoritative sources. It's impossible to say exactly when it happens, but sometime later that day, Google begins returning this page as the #1 result for Tide anthrax. It turns out that the community does SEO and crisis management better than any paid consultants. At the end of the day, customers are the brand. With Get Satisfaction, Tide gave customers a voice to sing their praises, help each other, and connect around their products. But you can't do this with a robot like jargon here. This is about loving your customers. So come on in to Get Satisfaction and create